What is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny gameplay video. Hey, this video I'm going to be showing you guys a build I've been using on my Gunslinger that's just a lot of fun. It relies pretty heavily on the use of your equipment, which is kind of a fun dynamic in the Crucible, especially with something like the Gunslinger that has equipment like the throwing knife and the trip mine grenade. So a little bit more of a technical class to play, and that's one of the reasons sometimes I enjoy playing it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've been playing it pretty much exclusively this weekend, as much as I have been able to play. But see, like right there, these trip mines can be so dirty if you know the angles and the walls to use. It's not a grenade you want to throw on the ground, obviously. Your chances of getting a kill with it that way are pretty slim. So you want to make sure that you're accurately placing them. So I'll show you the build and everything that I'm using. But before I get to that, I think that the Gunslinger subclass is one that kind of gets overlooked sometimes. It's got to compete with stuff like the Night Stalker, and a lot of people love Night Stalker. A lot of people love the ability to shade step, the wombo combo. Also, a lot of people really enjoy the quick draw of the Blade Dancer subclass. And here I save a teammate's life and I wave at him like, "I got you, bro." But I've been coupling this build with a hand cannon, so I'm using the Ace of Spades specifically. I love this gun. It's kind of my baby. So whenever I'm playing on my Hunter, I tend to use this hand cannon. So it couples well for a lot of good reasons, mainly because it's such a great gun for mopping up kills when you prime them with something like a throwing knife to the body or even to the head. So a lot of times I'll do that combination. And here you see trip mine placement. I want to capture this relic, so I'm going to put trip mines. You get 2 with the build that I'm using. So I'm going to put them in a couple of sort of choke points. And you see this guy comes around the corner, and it's not very visible. As he comes out that door, he can't see through it. So here's the build. I'm using the young Ahamkara's spine. I got sniper rifle reload speed on mine, which I really like. I wanted to get hand cannon reload speed, but I didn't want to just keep rolling the dice on him, so I ended up going with that. I'm using the Gambler's Dagger, Gunslinger Trance, Knife Juggler, and Deadeye, and Triple Jump, obviously Trip Mine Grenades, so that you can get 2 of them with the young Ahamkar Spine, and the timer on those is going to be a lot longer. So, look at this, just being able to chuck a throwing knife down a long corridor like that is pretty easy because there's little room for error, and trip mines in hot spots like the bridge here on Frontier gets a nice pick. Being able to kind of bail yourself out of sticky situations where I can just do a swivel 180, fire one round off with the hand cannon, and then throw a throwing knife to follow it up. You see here, double throwing knife to the head, and having the automatic cooldown when you get precision kills with those throwing knives is really nice to have. So I'm just having a ton of fun with this setup. There's a lot of subclasses I think that get neglected because of how strong or weak they are in the Crucible, and this is one of them. I don't see a ton of Gunslingers anymore, which is a bit of a bummer, because honestly the Gunslinger is one of the more fun classes to play, mainly because of the equipment. The equipment is what makes this subclass, in my opinion. Being able to have those throwing knives. I put a trip mine on this little pillar here because I'm thinking he may try to pursue me. He goes for the body instead, so I just cut him off with a throwing knife before he can get the revive. So here, I go for the throwing knife, but I choke. So I put a trip mine on the wall and expect the guy to pursue me. Sure enough, he does. Walks right into it. Here, I just jump up over the cover where I know this guy is. I can accurately place him just by looking at his scout rifle shots. Here, I put a trip mine. One of the things that trip mines are great at is covering orbs. So I put it right on the orb. I know it's got a longer timer. It sticks there for a while until this guy pushes it. And since I had him primed, it was an easy one-hit kill with the trip mine. Sometimes they're not going to one-hit kill, especially in trials when you're going up against people with high armor or high light level. So sometimes you got to follow it up with a shot, and that's okay. Here, throwing knife again. Just sort of coming in close and then backing away and throwing the knife, because it sort of jukes people out. Maybe they'll switch to a shotgun or they'll try and melee. So you kind of come in close, get them primed, and then back up and throw the throwing knife. And that's a great combination to use. Here, the trip mine primes this guy. And when guys are absolute, sometimes their accuracy goes down because they sort of feel that pressure and they sort of spam the trigger, and you can take advantage of that. So honestly, look at this, so much fun. Just whipping these things around is too much fun. I would highly encourage you guys to give this build a shot And if you have some good games with it, honestly, tweet at me. If you save the clips, tweet at me some clips. I'd love to watch. Honestly, a lot of people tweet clips at me. I don't always respond to them just because it's hard to, considering how many tweets and clips I get. But I do tend to watch almost all of them, so it's good fun for me. Thanks, guys, and look forward to catching you in the Crucible.